All right, guys, welcome back to Tech Tanks. Today we're going to be doing a hack the box. This one is called Backdoor. It has recently been retired, so there's no problems with making a video for it. And this box is actually really interesting. It does use a directory traversal vulnerability, but it utilizes it in a very different way. We're not looking for a particular file like the password file or an SSH key. We're going to be looking at the processes running on a Linux machine. So this is a really creative way to use this, and honestly, fantastic opportunity to learn more about Linux, but also learn about using a standard exploit or vulnerability and utilizing it in a different way, right? Getting a little more creative with it. So shout out to the person who made this box, which who was it? I don't know, some dude. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to say that. Kabu Baker 17, I guess. Sure. So anyway, shout out to him for making this awesome job. So let's go ahead and get started. Um, as always, you want to start with your Nmap. I already did go ahead and get that done. So just trying to save some time here. That's right, we're doing backdoor. Okay. So we have SSH running on port 22. We have HTTP on the standard port 80, and then something there, right? So we do not at this point have the ability to see what it is that is running there, but we're actually going to find out later. So we're going to go ahead and start by, I'm actually going to get tmux running here. There we go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with checking out the website. Okay, anytime you have HTTP open, that should be your go-to thing. All right, so we're going to just go ahead and slap in the IP address. Okay. Now, if you've been doing this for a while, you're going to recognize that this is pretty much a 99% guarantee going to be WordPress. I've seen this exact image, this exact setup, I don't know how many times. So, yeah, powered by WordPress. There it goes. Okay, so let's try some of these additional links here about not really relevant blog. WordPress first post. Okay, contact. Okay, so not a whole lot has been put in. Oh. All right, let's try updating our Etsy host file. That actually didn't happen before when I was going through it. So I am on Linux this time. So I'm going to just do the standard Etsy hosts. And let's see. Remember, you do need to have root privileges. So if you're running your system as root, you don't need to do the sudo command. If you're not, do it. So this is just backdoor.htb. Cool. All right. See if we get any different results. Yeah, it is a little different now. So see if we can generate a username here. Okay. Well, that's not even our site anymore. So nice little trick. I always make that mistake. You should probably look on the bottom left part of your screen. Just make sure, especially for anybody out there who's an actual pen tester watching this, definitely got to stay within your scope. Oops. Oh well. Okay, so nothing really changing here. All right, so there's a couple things to do with WordPress. We can do automated enumeration by using WP scan, which is not a terrible way to do things. However, I actually want to show you guys. So with WP scan, it will enumerate the usernames for you. It could do password cracking. It checks for plugins, checks for a lot of different things. It's an amazing tool, but there are basic things that you can do to just enumerate it on your own. Okay, and for me, if I can make things go a little bit faster by just doing it on my own, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go here, and the first thing I'm going to do is check for plugins. Okay, which unless they change their directory, which sometimes you'll come across, you're going to find it at wp-content /plugins, and then it will list whatever plugins are there. In this case, we have an ebook plugin, ebook download plugin. Sorry. Now, in these plugins, usually the readme.txt file is going to tell you what version is running here, which in this case we have 1.1. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find out all the different plugins that are running, and then I want to see if there is a vulnerability associated with those plugins. Now, in this case, it's a pretty simple list. We have one. So with that one, I'm going to do WordPress ebook. What was that again? It was ebook. I better check. I don't want to. Ebook download, right? Ebook download. 1.1. Okay, so right here, there's a bright white screen. Normally it's dark. I don't know. Anyway, so on our lovely exploit database, which is an amazing site, they do have a WordPress plugin, ebook download 1.1 directory traversal. So version disclosure tells you to go exactly where we did at the readme.txt, and then your proof of concept is right here. So basically, it's using the plugins, ebook download, file download.php. So that PHP script has the ebook download URL parameter, and then looks like this is where we put in our traversal here. So this is just going to go back a couple directories and pull the WP config file. So we're going to go ahead and copy this. Now, this is not necessarily a giveaway, but it is something that I don't want to deal with constantly downloading files. So I'm going to try it once in the browser. And if it does download the file, then I'm going to just start using curl. So let's go ahead and start here. We'll just, oh, that was silly. Yeah, we don't need the rest of the website, guys. We just need to, go to that directory regardless. So, what was that, 10? Oh, no, I did the HTTP. Man, I made that a lot harder than it had to be. Backdoor HTB. All right. So, yeah, it's wanting to save the file. We'll just save the file. It's fine. And then that should only take a second to download. And then we're going to cat it. Downloads. So this is a standard WP config file. So we have the database password, database user, database name. So once we have access to the system, we are able to get into the database. That can always be good. But this did work. So I'm going to go ahead and clear that out because I don't like having stuff in that folder. Okay. So what we're going to go ahead and do here, I'm going to save a lot of time on the enumeration and that sort of thing because it took a little while for me to figure out. It's like, oh, well, let's try doing the processes. So let me kind of show you what it is we're going to do here. If you go to the proc directory, right? You got a lot of stuff here, but these numbers are what we care about. Okay. So we're going to find one that's running as a standard user. So we'll take, let's see. I don't know. I thought there was one that was like 1520 or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's grep 1520. I'm wrong. All right, fine. See how it is. All right, so yeah, let's just do, we'll do 1500 then. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a cat proc cmd line oh no, sorry, 1500 CMD line. Okay, and you can see that this was what was executed. Okay, so to give you a bit of a visual on this, as far as for what we did, proc 1500. Inside of this directory, you see quite a few files. The CMD line is what we care about. This is the command line that was executed for said process. Now, the reason why this is relevant is because anything that's running on your system pretty much is in there. Okay, now you don't have access to everything. Okay, but you do have the ability to at least start querying and looking at different things, and whatever you can find can be very, very relevant. Okay, so there are a couple ways you could do this. You can do a quick little bash thing and make a bunch of numbers, because as you notice, it's the numbers that we care about. That's one option, and then you feed that into a tool such as Burp Suite and start going through the process. While Burp Suite is an amazing tool, and if I had the pro version, that's exactly what I would do. The community edition does run slower, and because it runs slower, I'm going to just use curl and try to crank through this as fast as I can. Another thing is I'm actually going to minimize this because the number, like the range of numbers is ridiculous, right? It could be, you can find it in the first 5, or it could be, around 1,000. So I was actually running this when I first did this in like 200, like a 200 range chunk. And I mean, what we're looking for is in the 800s, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write a quick little bash script here to just curl. And I'm going to really lower the amount we're going to have to do here. So I'm going to just call this exploit.sh. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to set, I don't know what it is with the letter I, but that's kind of my default variable, and I don't think I'm alone on this. So we're going to set this for 800. And then I'm going to say while I is less than or equal to, I'm going to say 900. Okay, so I'm really limiting this scope here, but it's because I already know where it's going to be located at, but I want to still be able to show you guys this. Backdoor.htb wp content. Wait, I don't want to type all this out. I'm lazy. All right, oh, no shift. Oh, yay, the battery's fully charged. All right, so we're going to do this, and then we're going to have to fix this part. Probably add a couple more in here just to be on the safe side, and then proc. And then we're going to feed in the variable I, and then we're going to do CMD line. And I want this to output to its own, and we'll just keep it all in the same file. It's fine. It's fine. It'll be good. All right. And then it's been a while since I've done some bash here. I'm just trying to think. This part always throws me off. I don't know why. Oh boy. I plus 1, 2, 2, 2. There we go. That should be good. And yeah, I think we'll be fine. If not, as always, we're going to redo it. So basically, just to kind of break down what this is doing, this is just a simple bash script. It's assigning the letter I, so the variable I, a value of 800. And what I'm saying is while I is less than or equal to 900, run this command, the curl, and then we're going to output it to a file that is named whatever the value of I is dot response, right? So the first one will be 800 dot response, second one will be 801 dot response, so on and so forth, okay? And then after that, we are incrementing the value of I by 1, because we don't want it to keep doing 800. We want it to go 800, 801, 802, 803, until we get to, once we finish 900, then the script will stop, okay? So we're going to go ahead and exit out of that, and this is going to be a lot of fun because we're going to all of a sudden show up with like 100 files on here. It's going to take a minute, but it'll happen pretty quickly. So we call this exploit.sh. So unless I broke something, this should work. So far it's looking good. So what we're going to do is we're going to make another window here. And if we list it, we're starting to get a bunch of files. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of great ways to do this. If you know what you're looking for, you can pretty much get it instantly. But we don't know. So what we're looking for is massive variations here, right? And well, I guess that's not a really good explanation. This number right here, right? We have 202, 162, 133, 161, 167, 133, 133, 133. So the 133s are probably not going to be something we want to look at. The 202 might be what we want to look at. We're going to go ahead and just run the command again. And you're going to see we got a lot more. So this is almost done already. Okay, so that is what we're wanting to see. Now, if you're looking here, let's go ahead and we're gonna run this again, but we're going to grep v out 133 because that's definitely not going to be it. There's too many like that. And for those of you who don't know, the v parameter for grep says don't show me this. So whatever you put here, it's not going to show you. So this one and this one stick out right off the bat. So let's go ahead and we're going to just make another one here. And the first one is A53. I don't know if this is actually the right one or not. It is. Sweet. I knew it was going to be one of the 800 ones, and I knew it was over the value of 200. But this is the one we're actually looking for. So if you notice what this is stating, while true, do switch user. So we're switching to the user. We're running the command cd home user GDB server once port 1337. So we now know what's running on port 1337, which is going to be a GDB server. Sweet. So what we're going to go ahead and do here, and this is where we're going to kind of wrap this up pretty quick, because this is the biggest thing I wanted to show you, was being able to exploit the directory traversal and reading this. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just hop right onto Metasploit because I know that there is something on there that will pop a shell for us, and I'm all about making the job easier. Okay, and basically what we're going to do is pop a shell as that user, which is named user. So we're going to just search GDB server. We're going to use option 0. And then, let's see, so we're going to set our hosts, and that's, I got to find that. IP 10.10.11.125. Set our port is running on 1337. Set L host. And so this is going to kick back, but this is kind of a good opportunity for learning to look at the errors and fix the problem here. Okay, so if I run, the payload architecture is incorrect. Payload is x86, but x64 is detected from GDB. So I'm going to set the target, and sorry, I should probably show you. Show targets. Option 0 is x86. Option 1 is the 64-bit. Okay, but also the payload is wrong. Okay, so we're going to set payload, and we're going to do the exact same payload, but we're going to just switch it to x64, and then we're going to just keep it the same. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and run it this time, and now it should work. There we go. And we're going to get UID, and we're user. Cool. All right, so let's do shell. Python 3. Okay. C import dots. Oh boy. Spawn bin bash. Done. Okay. So there's a user flag. All right, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to check process is running. I'm trying to Traversal, so I want to grep root. Okay, now this one is a fun one. I really like this exploit because it's just entertainingly easy and silly. However, I did actually come across something at one of my employers where I was able to do this, so it does happen. So the screen is kind of similar to Tmux. Your console, all that stuff, it runs on screens, right? So what screen does is you are able to detach them. So if I do screen H and we look for that DMS parameter, which is right here, start as daemon. Oops. I have a bad habit of highlighting and dragging and things like that. So start as daemon, screen session in detached mode. Okay, so what we're wanting to do is attach it. We do have an option to attach. Attach to a not detached screen, multiple display mode. So now there's multiple ways to be able to attach things. So we're going to go ahead and just run screen X, and we're attaching. If you saw this, it's called root. But this is going to be fun. Please set a terminal type. What does that mean? So on this channel we have done the path variable, and we've shown this before. What we haven't done before, which is why I do like this one, is term. We have a dumb term. Okay. Now there's multiple terminal options out there. The default is kind of xterm, but I do want to show that if I do echo term, I'm not running xterm. I'm running screen, right? So all we need to do, we need to set a terminal type. Dumb is not an option. So we're going to just do export term equals, and I'm going to do screen because why not? Okay, so we're going to try the screen X root again, and like I said, all we're doing is attaching a an already running session. So do that, and we're now root. Okay, so it's important to always check the process is running, and if you don't know about a process, Google. Google is your friend, and you will be able to get a lot of information from there and be able to find different vulnerable things out there. But yeah, guys, so the big takeaway today was, again, the process directory traversal. This is a really interesting way to do it, but it just always reminds you to stay creative while you're running even a standard vulnerability, done this a million times, go for the SSH keys. I'm not saying don't do that. What I'm saying is when the obvious doesn't work, it's time to start getting creative on how you want to go about exploiting this, okay? So guys, hopefully you were able to get something out of the video today, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. It's a nice quick 23-minute one, so I'm going to end it while I'm ahead. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you in the next video.